I just, I'm not sure what Casey said, but, uh, I'm just very, very proud of them. It's been a long, 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 long year. Been a difficult year. A lot of things haven't gone our way. Um, After Kansas, I just begged and pleaded with them that we got to come and fight. And if we didn't fight against this team, who is very, very tough and physical, they were going to kick our butts. And to our guys' credit, I thought they rose up today. I was proud to be their coach. They competed, they fought, they gave us a chance. Obviously, we're not perfect. Make a shot here or there, not defensive breakdown. Um, but they gave us a chance. Tone plays 40 minutes, 9 rebounds. I'd love him to make a shot, but he was leader on the play hard and had 9 rebounds and tried to guard. Made a couple mistakes defensively down the stretch. Probably played those guys too many minutes, but you don't have much choice, with guys that are out. So, I just happy with them. I thought we defended. We showed them some video of Barry and Dean and Cam's group, how they guarded. And I think it got their attention to realize, how intense you have to be, how you have to be in the stance, how you have to be in help, how you got to help each other. And we gave it a go today. And obviously, I'd like to win for them. I'd be, because they have. It's been hard, and they've kept fighting. Nigel, we get a little foul trouble. Obviously, I thought there was some calls that I have to watch on video and see, but we had some foul trouble, and we kept overcame that, and and hung in there. It's just they had some guys step. Kyler Edwards played in the Final Four, 3 for 4 from three. Kevin McCullough's just a winner, 3 for 4 from three. But I think the big ones are the other guys. Tyreek Smith hit a three. Abgo comes in and hits a three. The kid from France, Clarence, hits it was a two, but those are big shots that are, probably when you look at the score and everything else, backbreakers. Probably the only real negative is just, or two negatives, I guess, would be the free throws. We had our chances. They're one of the leading, get to the free throw line more than anybody else in the country, one of the tops. And we've been one of the worst. We did get it inside. We did get to the paint. We got to the line, but we didn't convert like we needed to. And then the turnovers. Nigel's been so good, and I bragged about him constantly. But 6 turnovers, and a few of them just they get him in a little rush, and But obviously he can make some shots. Find ways to get him more shots, if anything.
Thank you, Coach. First question to Kellis Robinette.
Hey, Bruce, did you tell the guys that you wanted to see him slapping the floor today on defense?
Yeah, I started a thing that old friend of mine used to do, and Coach Katie did it. No stance, no chance. And it's any sport you play. If you can't get in a stance, if you're hitting a baseball, if you're standing straight up with your legs, you're not going to hit it. You're in the field, you're not going to be able to make a play. Football, you got to be in a stance. And I just said we got to have something to remind us. We have a tendency, as you know, you've watched us. People have watched us. When things go bad, we have trouble. We have trouble, and we kind of mentally break down. And I said, here's a reminder to stay strong and stable. And every time we're going to be in a stance, we're going to hit the floor. We're going to try to concentrate on what we can focus on. Yesterday, I talked to them about people aren't always bigger and stronger, but they beat you because they're consistently more focused than you. And now I was trying to get them to focus on something. I guess maybe it did. We'll see what happens on Tuesday.
And I was curious, when you called the timeout at the end of the first half with 48 seconds or so to go, what did you draw up there? Is that the way you want to see it go? And did you at all consider going 2 for 1 in that situation?
Actually, we had called a quick hitter, and it didn't go the way we wanted. And then, they end up getting the last shot. But that was why we called timeout. We we had talked about trying to get a shot at the end of the half. Think about 2 shots that go in that they take away from us, and I guess they're no good. You guys probably saw it, but you would think that sooner or later, basketball God, something would go our way, but it didn't.
All right, thanks, Bruce.
Next question's for Coach Weber. Next question to Ryan Black.
Hey, Bruce, when Casey was just in there, I asked him just kind of how difficult has it been, because I know, and even when he was not able to play last year, you talk about how physical presence he was in practice. Just how difficult is it? It just seems like sometimes he gets in the games and they referee him a different way, and I have to think that's not easy for him to deal with.
Yeah, he gets a little frustrated. Got to learn, how to set screens. He's gotten a lot of them. The posting up. We've talked about it, and obviously they're best in the country. They take lots of charges. It's unbelievable how many charges they take. And, I guess they got him for a few. I was happy and proud of him. Yesterday, he couldn't even practice. He came back. I think he's the only one positive on the plus minus on our team. And he did a lot of good things, but it would have been nice to Davion. It's a season that's probably taken a little toll on him, and he had some chances inside. They are physical. I thought they disrupted him a couple times in the post. And he's just got to, that will come with time. I told him this morning, I told Davion, I'm just so thrilled and happy what he's done. I just said, you gotta just suck it up and give us a little more. And it would have been nice if we could have got a little more today.
Casey said he thought, because he got whistled for two offensive fouls, he thought the first one is like, okay, maybe I extended my arm and they got me, but he felt like the second one was maybe a little more ticky-tack. Is that kind of how you saw it too?
I would say they're the best in the country at doing it, so they must get a lot of.
I'm sorry, I didn't know if that was also maybe a reference to the Big 12 refs. I apologize. I didn't know if maybe you were making a comment on that. And then, Bruce, one other thing about Casey, he mentioned that he basically lives in the treatment room now to even play games. I guess a lot more hurt than even we think. He doesn't look like, at least in games, that he's like limping or anything. So, I think it says a lot for him that he's out there doing what he can.
Well, he had something pop up yesterday. We had to take him. He couldn't practice. We didn't know. Obviously, we were hoping and praying that it wasn't a bad thing, and it wasn't what Luke had maybe thought it was. So he went to the doctor, to the hospital during practice. He came back at the end and got to shoot a little bit. So, it just you get surgery. If somebody operates on you and they cut on you, it's not as easy. I can promise you, I've had it done a lot of times. I've been in the emergency room probably 20 times in my life. And every time the doctors always say 1 or 2 weeks, and then I'm on 3 weeks, and I'm still hurting. So it takes a while, and then now to play at this level against this competition, and I told him when it happened, I said, Casey, it's not just going to happen. And then you're in the middle of the season, we don't practice. You have 2 days of prep, you got 2 games, a day off, and 1 day of practice. So it's hard. It's hard to come back, but he made a little progress. You saw him make a little progress. Luke made a little progress. Definitely helped us.
And Bruce, last thing from me is, obviously, the result maybe doesn't show it, but did you think this was just the best all-around effort in terms of just the energy your team showed in a while?
Yeah, I told him after, and I'm sincerely, you guys can twist it, whatever. I'm just very proud. I was proud of their effort and how they competed. Obviously, I wanted them to win, but if we can do this, if they'll come with that same energy and effort and focus, we'll have a chance here at some of these games down the stretch.
Thank you, Bruce.
Next question to Grant Flanders.
Hey, Coach, how impressive is it to see the intensity from this team without one of your best intensity guys in Dejuan Gordon?
Well, we miss him, and then you miss his play hard points, his rebounding. All the little things Dejuan does, his energy. But, again, I was really, really proud of Tony. Antonio, that, he played his butt off. He didn't do a lot of the other stuff, and he played 40 minutes, and I know he was dead tired. And we didn't have any choice. So probably a couple mental mistakes down the stretch. Maybe if you subbed, maybe they wouldn't happen. But they competed. You had to against them because that's what their thing is.
And then you had two 11-point losses to Texas Tech. Is this a game where you guys kind of have Tech's number in the way to be able to keep it competitive, or do you think you parlay this into a game against Texas on Tuesday?
We scored a little better at their place, or a little easier. But today I thought we rose up and defended them better and competed. After the beginning, the offensive rebounds, I think they had 3 on that one of the first possessions. And they only ended up with 6. And, that's been a backbreaker for us. I don't know what was the second chance points. They only had 3. So now obviously our turnovers probably hurt us the most. And then just some little breakdowns here and there. But again, our guys competed. They played with the heart. They played with some focus. And, I just wish we could have done it earlier, but it's better than later. Now we'll see if they can do that same thing on Tuesday.
Last thing I have, do you think Terrence Shannon coming in the second half playing 11 minutes made a difference in that second half for them to keep that lead?
I'm sure I thought maybe some of those other guys, McClung was really good in the first half. Thought we did a pretty good job in the second half. We got him to turn it over, got in some gaps, made him take some tough shots. And then, but Shannon, he's plus 12 when he's in there for 10 minutes. So he must have did something good that helped them.
Thank you, Coach.
Next question to Michael Goins.
Yeah, Bruce, just your take on that 4 or 5 minute stretch they had in the second half to kind of get away from you.
Well, that it's something that's plagued us all year. And they hit a couple big threes. They made some good reads. They end up 10 for 20 from 3, 18 assists, 17 assists. So they made good plays. They're older, they're smart. They know each other. And they had, not only the Kyler Edwards and McCullough step up, but those other guys hit shots. And that made it tough. We had a couple bad possessions on the offensive end in that stretch. I got to watch it, to be honest. I can't remember. I wish I could tell you exactly what happened, but I'll watch it tonight. Maybe we're on there next week. I can tell you a little better.
That's all right. I understand. Would you kind of make the decision to guard them bigger on the interior and give them some 3-point looks?
I didn't, they just do a good job of getting in the paint and making you help and reading the right plays. And, we talked about being off, being in the help. One time they skipped it. Luke was in the tag. They skipped it. He probably stayed in too long. And the next time he went out and they got a layup. So it's just good basketball play, by good players. And that's, you can play great defense, and if they make good basketball plays, they're the ones that end up with the success.
And if this was better effort, which it appeared to be, what do you feel like brought that out?
I guess I begged and pleaded with them, and I guess that's all. I pleaded on their heart and soul that they, not to give up, not to, this is, I don't know. I hope I had something to do with it, but I'm not sure. We'll see. We'll see what happens Tuesday and the rest of the season.
Thank you, Bruce.
Anything else for Coach Weber before? Oh, Ryan Black, one question.
Hey, Bruce, I want to jump back in real quick. I guess it just seemed like every single time you guys got it 4, 5, 6, they just would end up coming up with a 3 on the very next possession. I guess just how demoralizing was that, for this team that's already just had such a rough go of it recently, to every time you guys had some positive energy, it seemed like Texas Tech snuffed it out immediately.
I'm just like, please don't let it go. Please don't let it go in. It's just, and again, we go 9 for 20, so they're probably saying, hey, you guys shot it, better than you normally do. But, it was tough. But again, our guys didn't quit. I think they got it to 11 or 12, and then we got it back to 4 or 5. And, and that's a big step for our team, because as everyone knows, we've hit those spurts where we don't fight back. We don't respond. But today they did.